Hello everyone, welcome to Advanced Knowledge Systems and a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy, which is one of the premier institutions in India, and it offers examination coaching for UPSC CSE, State Public Service Commission, SSC Combined Graduate Level Exam and CLAT examination. So do visit AKS IAS Academy and also the website of AKS IAS Academy. And about me, I am Sandeep Bhushan and my credentials are I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I take up international relations and internal security and the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will certainly be useful for you because throughout the session I would be emphasizing on the importance of keywords and the key phrases from the newspaper, and we will identify the factual, analytical and conceptual questions for preliminary examination point of view. And while you imbibe the keywords in the key phrases, you can make sure that your answers are very precise and concise, and thereby you can score higher marks in the mains examination also. Therefore, this session at AKS IAS Academy will certainly help you to score higher marks in the mains 2020, as well as it will be useful for you for the prelims and mains 2021. So do follow the entire session of the daily news analysis at AKS IAS Academy. And this is the daily newspaper analysis of the Hindu, that is today's of the 8th of December 2020. And before we get into the DNA of the newspaper, we will look at the quote of the day. It is, wake up with determination and go to bed with satisfaction. So that what we need to have is day in, day out, we need to have a determination and then try to accomplish it. And then while you go to bed, you make sure that your determination is accomplished and be satisfied. Thereby, your short-term and long-term goals can be achieved. And now we'll get into the daily news analysis, which is from the Hindu newspaper. And the news what we have is the Supreme Court has given a nod or a green signal for the Central Vista, which is certainly getting into the mode of inaugurating a new parliamentary building. And the Supreme Court has now allowed the foundation stone which would be laid, and the laying down of the foundation stone ceremony for a new parliament building to be scheduled on December 10th. So the foundation stones laying ceremony to be on December 10th for a new parliament building. The Supreme Court has given a nod, or it has allowed the entire founding stone ceremony to be taken up. And the government in turn has given an undertaking to the Supreme Court why it is necessary that it should be kept in abeyance, that is in regards to the construction, the demolition of the building and the shifting of the trees in the Central Vista area for now. So definitely once the Supreme Court has given the permission for the foundation stone laying ceremony, in turn the government, that is the union government, has given an undertaking to the Supreme Court saying that why there was totally in regards to the construction, demolition and shifting of the trees were kept in abeyance. And there is a question on legality in regards to the construction of the new parliament building. And the bench in the Supreme Court, which is led by Justice A.M. Kalvinkar, has expressed displeasure with the government of India because the government of India was aggressively continuing with the construction, demolition and the shifting of the trees, as this was the question which was certainly a legal question, which was the project, the Central Vista project was being taken up in the court and it was being in the court for the questioning. So definitely the bench has displeasure, or it has expressed the displeasure the way the government was aggressively continuing with the construction, demolition and shifting of the trees. But in turn, the Supreme Court has allowed the foundation stone ceremony to be taken up on December 10th. And in turn, when the Supreme Court has expressed the displeasure, the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, in or representing the Government of India, has said that he has apologized the Supreme Court, and in turn he has given an undertaking to the Supreme Court saying that there will not be any physical changes to be made in the area, that is at the construction or near the Parliament of India in the New Delhi. And definitely he has said that in the statement, that is while the Tushar Mehta was talking, or he has apologized to the Supreme Court, he has made a statement saying that there will be no construction, no demolition or any felling of trees, but the foundation stone will be laid and there will not be any physical changes as of now. And as of now, the Supreme Court has given the permission to lay down the foundation stone. And the court has said that as the case was listed as a suo motu on December 7, 2020, and it has looked into the case as a suo motu, and it has noticed that various developments have been taken place, wherein the question, that is in regards to the legality, was definitely being part of the, or it was lying with the Supreme Court, and in turn the government has aggressively taken up the construction, demolition and felling of the trees, and that was the cause of concern from the Supreme Court. And on November 5th, that is November 5th of 2020, the Supreme Court bench has reserved the judgment on the petition which has filed or challenged in regards to the redevelopment project of the Central Vista. So it is a Central Vista which has got into the mode of developing the project, that is the construction of the new building. So it was on December 7th the suo motu case has been listed, and on November 5th it was the Supreme Court bench has reserved the judgment which has been challenged by the petitioner in regards to the redevelopment project of the Central Vista area. But in toto, the Supreme Court has allowed the foundation stone laying ceremony for a new Parliament building to be scheduled on December 10th. And there is another news which talks about the ministry hopes for a quick decision on a new parliament. Look at here, the Supreme Court has just given the permission to lay down the foundation stone ceremony, but there is no final decision or the confirmation by the Supreme Court to go ahead with the construction or redevelopment of the project from the Central Vista. But the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has said that the construction for the new building, which would start by the laying down of the ceremony on December 10th, and the construction of the new Parliament building is dedicated to 135 crore Indians, and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has gone ahead with the deadline for completing the project in the year 2022, which would be celebrated as the 75th year of independence. And as a part of the Central Vista redevelopment project, definitely the government has proposed the new building, that is construction of the new Parliament building, which would come up just adjacent to the existing Parliament, which is the British era Parliament House. And this project by the Central Vista, that is the Central Vista redevelopment project, would cost around 971 crore, and this project is carried out by the Central Public Works Department, that is CPWD. The contractor part of the CPWD is the Tata Projects Limited, and the entire new Parliament building has been designed by Ahmedabad HCP Design, Planning and Management. So these are the keywords which would be a prospective preliminary questions for the UPSC point of view. and the ministry which is certainly looking into the construction of the new Parliament House is Ministry or the Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and designed by Ahmedabad based HCP Design, Planning and Management. And there is another news which is in regards to the soil biodiversity. So soil biodiversity is now into the mode or in the news because the tribals from Gujarat and from Madhya Pradesh have come together to protect the soil biodiversity. So this is again very important topic or information in regards to the environment. And here now the tribals from Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh have come together to protect the soil biodiversity. And these tribals, who are mostly from the villages of the southern Rajasthan, now they would wish to make sure that they utilize their indigenous agricultural practices to survive. That is, even during the COVID-19 pandemic situation, the tribals which they have their own or the indigenous agricultural practices, that they would survive, and they all have come together with their indigenous agricultural practices so that they can protect the soil biodiversity. And this has been taken up at a campaign, and that campaign is called as Agriculture and Tribal Sovereignty Campaign, which would be for 11 days. And this campaign of Agriculture and Tribal Sovereignty Campaign has been launched by 27 Swaraj Sangatans in the districts of southern Rajasthan, that is Banswara, Dungarpur and Pratapgarh districts. So definitely this is an campaign which is an agricultural and tribal sovereignty, which is by the indigenous agricultural practices of the tribals to protect soil biodiversity. And villages from Dahod district in Gujarat as well as from Bhajana and Thandla regions of Madhya Pradesh have also joined the agricultural and tribal sovereignty campaign. And through the campaign, the villages, that is the tribals, have taken a pledge to preserve the resources. Definitely to protect the soil biodiversity, the tribals have pledged to preserve the resources of farmland, water, livestock and the indigenous seeds on the World Soil Day, which is on the December 5th, 2020. Again here you have the prelims perspective question, that is the World Soil Day, which is on the December 5th, 2020, and on the World Soil Day the tribals or the villages have come together and taken a pledge to preserve the resources of the farmland, water, livestock and indigenous seeds. So certainly the World Soil Day is as crucial for the prelims as well as mains examination, that when we focus in regards to the soil biodiversity taken up by the tribals through the agriculture and tribal sovereignty campaign by the indigenous agricultural practices of the tribals. And the campaign has gone ahead with a special emphasis, and it has laid special emphasis on harvesting of water, which would come into the agricultural fields. And this harvesting of water which is getting into the agricultural field, and they are focused in regards to the harvesting of the water, and they are focused in regards to the preventing the fertile soil being drained away. So they are very clear about their indigenous agricultural practices of how the water can be harvested, which gets into the agricultural fields, and thereby again from the agricultural fields, when the water is being drained away, they would prevent the fertile soil to be drained away. So this is the special emphasis made by the tribals in the campaign. And various practitioners, academicians and activists have assembled in Banswara in regards to the campaign, and they have highlighted the various struggles which are being by the tribal population, and the struggle by the tribal population is to preserve their indigenous practices. Definitely they have also highlighted, that is the practitioners, academicians and activists have also highlighted various challenges of survival amid, that is along with the malnutrition wherein the tribals experience, and the weather variability and the resource losses. So along with the malnutrition, weather variability and the resource losses which they already experience, so the challenges of survival in regards to the preventing the fertile soil to be drained away and protecting the soil biodiversity is definitely being focused, highlighted by the practitioners, academicians and activists also. And many of them have also made the point that there is an exploitation of resources which is taking up, or which is certainly being part of the entire development or scientific advancement in the tribal areas. So the exploitation of the resources and the scientific advancement definitely are making the inhabitants of the tribal areas very difficult. And along with that, the tribals were also adversely affected because of the soil erosion, climate change, malnutrition and reducing the biodiversity. So all these keywords have to be taken into consideration, that they should be part of your short notes for the answer writing, that is for the mains examination. So exploitation of resources, scientific advancement and soil erosion, climate change, malnutrition, reducing biodiversity, and definitely in regards to the harvesting of water and preventing the fertile soil. So this is certainly a very informative one, wherein we have looked into the how the tribals from the southern Rajasthan or from Rajasthan and also from Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh, the farmers or the villagers have joined to give the support for agricultural and tribal sovereignty campaign. So it is Rajasthan, the tribals and the villagers from Gujarat and the villagers from the Madhya Pradesh have joined the campaign. This information is very crucial for prelims as well as mains examination. And the another news is that there would be only organic farming in Lakshadweep Islands. That is, the island administration has focused on making sure that there would be organic farming allowed in Lakshadweep. And now the administration, that is the island administration, has made it very clear that the entire Lakshadweep group of islands will be declared as an organic agricultural area. So this is the keyword which you need to focus for the preliminary examination, that which among the following has been recently declared as an organic agricultural area. It is the Lakshadweep group of islands. And the other one which was earlier declared as an under 100% organic area is the state of Sikkim. And the island administration is definitely focusing on the expansion of the traditional business. So the traditional business in coconuts and coconut products, they are, that is the island administration is focusing on expansion of the coconuts and coconut products traditional business through various methods, that is through value addition, through better marketing and the round the year processing. So here the keyword is value addition, better marketing and the processing, which goes ahead round the year. And there are around 10 crore coconuts which are produced in the group of Lakshadweep Islands in a total acreage area is 2,800 hectares. And the coconut processing industry also works only for 6 months in a year when the weather is dry. That means the traditional business in coconuts and the coconut products in the Lakshadweep group of islands will get into the mode of working only for 6 months. That is the coconut processing industry. But now the government or the island administration is certainly getting into the mode of using or trying to have the benefit or optimally using the the period which from May to December, wherein the entire coconut processing industry comes to a standstill, and then the industry is idle and the coconuts are lost. But the island administration is also focusing on the period between May and December, wherein they wanted to make sure that they utilize the coconut processing industry round the year. That is what is the main focus, round the year processing. And this, the coconut processing industry would focus on, or they are planning, that is the island administration is planning to introduce dryers and other machinery to utilize the coconuts to be processed round the year, even during the wet months, that is from in the monsoon and the winter season, so that the round the year processing of the coconuts and the coconut products can be taken into consideration, and the business would certainly grow. And right now the business in the coconut and coconut products is worth 75 crore a year, and the island administration would wish to increase it or expand it to rupees 200 crore, which would be processed, because round the year processing would get into the mode wherein the island administration are introducing the dryers and other machinery to utilize the coconuts. And the island coconut farmers will certainly be benefited, because the government of India or the union government has come up with a concept or a program, that is one district one product program of food processing. And this is the point which we need to focus here, that is as a keyword which you can imbibe in your answer writing for the as a short notes for the mains examination. That is, the entire group of islands will be considered as one district and one product program for food processing, that is in which the entire island now will be considered as a single district. This is the main advantage for the coconut farmers in the Lakshadweep Islands, wherein the union government has taken a decision that all the islands will be considered as a single district, and there is a program called as one district one product program of food processing, and this will certainly benefit the island, that is Lakshadweep Island coconut farmers. And the island administration has plans to help the farmers to market their products under a one brand, that is one common brand, so that they would be chosen, that would be chosen by the administration, and it would benefit the island coconut farmers. And if you look at, these are the islands in the Lakshadweep, part of the Lakshadweep group of islands. You can see it, Kalpeni, and then Kavarati. You also have the Bangaram, and then you have the Kadmat, and then Android. So all these are Agati you have, and these are the islands wherein you have the coconut and coconut products business, and wherein the island administration of Lakshadweep has declared the group of Lakshadweep Islands as an organic agricultural area. So this is again very important in regards to the organic farming for the prelims as well as mains examination. And there is another news which is talking about the China's record exports. So we know that the entire world is reeling under the COVID-19 pandemic situation, and because of that we know that the global supply chain system is badly hit across all the countries or across the globe. But we have seen that China's exports have recorded at a very faster pace. And now we look at comparing with the China's exports with India, and how India's exports have certainly been at a lower side comparing it with the China's exports. And if you look at India's imports from China, and as well as the trade deficit has declined. That means imports into China and the trade deficit from or with China has declined sharply in the month of November. And we will look at the Chinese exports around the world has registered the fastest growth in 3 years, and it has also underlined that Chinese is continuing recovery even during or amid the pandemic induced global slump. That is, the global supply chain system has been badly hit, but still there is the China's exports is registering the fastest growth in almost 3 years, and this is the one which has to be focused, how China is definitely getting into the mode of increasing its exports. That is because China is the manufacturing hub of the world now. And if you look at the bilateral trade between India and China also, it has reached to 78 billion in the last 11 months period, and it has lowered sharply comparing it with the 2019, that it was the bilateral trade between India and China in the year 2019 was 84.4 billions. But if you look at the bilateral trade, that is in regards to the proportionate of the imports and exports between India and China, now it has fallen down to 78 billion. So certainly there is a sharp lower or decrease of the bilateral trade between India and China, because the Chinese exports have increased fastest growth across the world. And if you look at the Chinese shipments to India, that is Chinese products into India, that is India's imports, have accounted for 59 billion, which has reduced to 13%. That means Chinese imports, Chinese goods entering into India have reduced to 13%, and this has reduced to 13% because we have experienced the skirmish or the face off between India and China along the line of actual control in the eastern Ladakh, and because of this face off, India has stopped or reduced the imports from China, and that is why it has reduced to 13%, and this is helping India's trade or India's deficit to 40 billion, wherein earlier it was, that is in the year 2019, it was 51.6 billion. So definitely India's deficit, which was 51.6 billion in 2019, is now, that is in the year 2020, it is 40 billion, and this is because we have reduced the imports of Chinese into India, and this has further helped narrow India's deficit with China. So this is in regards to the imports and exports of India and China, and definitely India imports. Now we will look at what does India imports from China. India imports electrical and non-electrical machinery, and also it imports organic chemicals and fertilizers. So definitely the electrical and non-electrical machinery are traditionally the biggest share which China exports to India, and definitely this has reduced to 13.4%. And the other imports what India does along with electrical and non-electrical machinery from China is organic chemicals and fertilizers. And India exports to China is iron ore, organic chemicals, cotton and unfinished diamonds. So these are the one or the exports which India exports to China is iron ore, organic chemicals, cotton and unfinished diamonds. And India is the fourth largest exporter of iron ore to China after Australia, Brazil and South Africa. So when you compare the iron ore, exporting of iron ore, India to the other countries in the world, India exports, the larger exporter of iron ore from India is first is Australia, second Brazil, third South Africa and fourth is China. This again is the crucial preliminary perspective question which could be part of your UPSC. So India's top exports is iron ore, organic chemicals, cotton and unfinished diamonds. And China, in November, China also agreed to import. So we are also exporting along with iron ore, organic chemicals, cotton and unfinished diamonds. We have also exported rice for the first time in 3 decades, that is 30 years, we have exported the broken rice to China, and this is from December to February. We have exported $300 per ton, with the total capacity of 1 lakh tons of broken rice was exported from India to China from the or between the months of December to February, and this is as per the Reuters report. And if you look at the overall, China's exports have increased to 21% in November, and this is the fastest growth since February 2018, and this is also the report by the Reuters. And definitely this is the cause of concern for many countries in the world, that how China is able to go ahead with increase the exports to various other countries. Not only that, China is not only just exporting to the Southeast Asian countries, but also it has exported to European countries also, to Germany, Netherlands, Italy, France. So all the countries in Europe has also imported many products from China, along with the Southeast Asian countries, that is Laos, Cambodia, Brunei. All these countries in the Southeast Asian countries have also been part of the exports. That is why China's exports have surged 21%. So this is the information what we have looked at, that is India importing and India exporting, and the bilateral trade between India and China, and the trade deficit has declined. So these are the keywords: trade deficit, bilateral trade, and India's imports and India's exports. So these are the keywords which will certainly be useful for you for the prelims as well as mains perspective, and you can use this information as a short notes for the mains examination. How China is, or China's exports have surged in the month of November, and it is the fastest growth since 2018. And now we will recapitulate the DNA at AKS IAS Academy, and this is in regards to the Supreme Court has given the nod for the Central Vista laying down, or the foundation stone laying down ceremony, and this is in regards to the ministry, that is we have looked at from prelims perspective how this can be considered in regards to the environmental clearances which for the construction of the new parliament building. Ecology and environment, that is the construction of the new parliament building, would it impact the ecology and environment? And this is, we have looked at how the tribals have all come together to be part of the campaign to protect the soil biodiversity. Again, this is part of the ecology and environment. We are talking also about the organic farming, which the Lakshmi Island has declared, and this is, we have looked at the business in regards to coconuts and coconut products. Organic farming, again this is in regards to the economy and also in regards to the environment, how we will be focusing that we will protect the environment not by using the fertilizers but by organic method itself. And this is in regards to the economy. We are focused that how India's trade deficit and then bilateral trade and India's exports and India's imports. So all these are the key words which we are focused, and this is part of the economy. So I hope this session was very informative, knowledgeable session, which have definitely be a useful information for the preliminary and also for the mains examination. So I would thank you all, and I would say a best of luck to you all. Do maintain consistency and then stick to your schedule and take care of your physical health and mental health. And then do like the video, share the video, and subscribe the AKS IAS Academy English Medium YouTube channel, and also make sure that you are getting into the mode of subscribing the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy and visit the website of AKS, that is Advanced Knowledge System. And then again I would come up with the daily news analysis tomorrow. And I would say thank you and thank you very much.